Hello and welcome to that 90s Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, James Sunstall. Joining me today, very special guest. She is the NWA Women's Champion, Thunder Rosa.
Hey guys, I'm petting Drago because he's about to start crying in a minute. Because he knows every time I'm in front of a computer, that's his time to ask for attention.
It's crazy, and thanks very much for joining me today. I've been a fan. Well, I will get to it later on, but I've been a fan of yours for a while, and just message you. I thought would be kind to come onto the show for an interview, and you was great to say yes. And really looking forward to it.
Well, I'm glad I'm here.
Thank you. So, first question, I suppose, was you a fan of wrestling as a child, and how did you get into it?
No, I wasn't. I got into it because I was depressed and I didn't have nothing else to do. And wrestling was cool to watch and to go to shows, live shows, indie wrestling. And I just got hooked into that, and then just by luck, I got in it.
Cool. Because I was noticing, like a lot of wrestlers, they get in, they start their training like when they're like really young. I mean, over here in the UK, a lot of the wrestlers start training at like 14, 15. But I noticed you left it a little bit later because I know you're more focused on your MMA career, I suppose.
Right now, yes, I am, because training wrestling takes such a huge toll on your body, and I don't want to be because I jump into another career like really old, and I have to like make sure that I level up. And when you do MMA, it's just like professional wrestling. There's so many reps and so many like things that you have to do on your own. So that's why I was like, with the COVID and everything, I made an effort to like pay more attention on my MMA, like which my jiu-jitsu, my striking, and everything else. I mean, I seen a lot of improvement from last year, which it was freaking insane. Just jump in the cage with absolutely no amateur experience, but it definitely like built my stamina and my I'm very resilient and I don't give up. So yeah, man, I get hit all the time.
I would imagine the likes of, for example, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and Brock Lesnar and Riddle. That I can imagine they're quite inspirational to you, like the way they've been able to succeed in both sports, I suppose, MMA and professional wrestling.
Well, the funny thing is like they focus first in one and then they jump in the other one. Like Shayna, she's not doing MMA. She trains, but she doesn't fight. I know that Brock Lesnar, he definitely did both at the same time. Is one of the most challenging things you can imagine, especially with fight camp, because it's not, it's not like I'm gonna tell my opponent, hey, watch the clothesline and drop the whole, like, no. So it's challenging and changing the mindset, of to like doing what professional wrestling is and then what MMA, requires. So, but yeah, I mean, I am enjoying the journey. So like this morning, like before you call, after my session, my boxing session, I just felt so bad because it's just like, I don't know if you watch anime, but there's like this anime that I'm watching, My Hero Academia. Izuku, the main character, he's always crying because he wants to be the best. That's me. I'm always crying because I want to be the best. Like, oh my God, so I get like that and I joke around, but that's totally me. I take notes, I actually have to sit down and take notes about what I learned this week just to make sure like it's, in my brain, because that's how I learn. I'm a very visual learner and I got to write things down. Otherwise I forget everything. And again, I don't want to waste anybody's time. I don't want to waste my time either, but yeah.
Cool. And I was looking there like through your career and that, and you made your debut in wrestling, I suppose, in Supreme Pro Wrestling in 2014. Then shortly after, you went over to Japan wrestling for Stardom. I've always wanted to go to Japan. I've never had the opportunity to do so, but what's it like being over there and actually working over there?
I miss it. I can't wait to go back. I currently hold the International Princess Championship from Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, and I have not been able to defend that ever since then. It was ever since January. I was supposed to go to Japan for 2 tours, March and then in May, but because of COVID, everything got canceled. I am making my very best to try to defend that championship here in the United States because, before I go back and anything happens, I want to make sure it was defended properly. I love it. I love Japan. I love the culture. I love the people. it really helped me be tougher. It made me feel that if I didn't have that experience, I don't think I would have been so driven. I think
Yeah,
especially after the first tour. But I for me, I would like for everybody, every woman, every man, if they have the opportunity to experience that, is like I don't know, it's nothing like wrestling in Korakuen Hall or
yeah,
in the Tokyo Dome, which I when I went to like New Japan, and I was like, wow, this is like the big deal. It's beautiful. It's such an art like over there. You didn't hear about it over there. It's like such an art, and
yeah,
I love it.
yeah. They seem to respect it a lot more over there, and I know like these days with social media, and I can be guilty myself. Sometimes people can go a bit over the top with social media, like wanting to know every little detail of wrestling. Whereas from what
Hmm.
I've seen, like the Japanese fans, they just pay respect and they just watch what's in front of them and appreciate what's there.
Yeah.
So that's what I personally think. I would love to go over there. One of my best friends, he goes over to Japan like near enough like every winter for 2 or 3 weeks, and
Hmm.
I would love to go over. You turned up in Lucha Underground, and in the second season, and you wrestled the likes of Dodger and Sexy Star and a lot of intergender matches, and it's actually as we talk about social media, it's actually going off quite a lot at the minute on social media about intergender wrestling.
Let me
I've
just
said
roll my
past,
act because this conversation. I mean, it is so dumb. I
yeah,
We used to run sabotage. We used to get a lot of flag because we run in California the first ever all intergender show. Then
yeah.
we came to Texas and we did the same thing. And even Mia Khalifa got involved. That's when she said that wrestling was fake and all that stuff.
I
Um,
remember that. Yeah,
an all intergender show, like everybody was talking smack. That was like 3 years ago, and like now we're still revisiting this thing.
yeah,
I whole like the speak out movement, and like some of the arguments are like men should not wrestle female because of that. Uh, Maybe it's like again, it's like learn how to respect each other. How about that? Like
yeah,
we are athletes and we should respect each other. And if you see something is wrong in the locker room or something is being said, say something. There's nothing worse than being like harassed. Uh, and not because you're like doing intergender wrestling. It's because they're just people are just being a holes and then they just want to do that. Like people need to grow up and then they need to respect us as professional wrestlers, as athletes. And just bottom line, like I am
yeah,
so sick and tired of that. Like I was like reading some of my friends like were saying some stuff and they were going off. Like sometimes this is like not even, especially getting on Twitter wars,
yeah.
like it's not worth it. Like we have to like be more um like we really have
Respectful.
to advocate for ourselves, in that aspect. And I'm talking about in the lower level and in the higher level with the big companies because I still see such a great discrepancy between men and females with the pay, with like the amount of time that we have on TV, the matches. And I was blessed to work in Lucha Underground and where we were able and given an opportunity to
Yeah,
have matches with these guys and like be the champions and whatever. Yes, whatever. That the Sexy Star was the smallest in the fucking place, but who gives a shit? It was like equality. Like, oh yeah, that makes no sense. It's wrestling, y'all. Like, it's professional wrestling. It's a fucking TV show. Like, calm down. It's just like, yeah.
I remember. I mean, obviously, I know it's different, but forgive me if I'm butchering his name. Sangriate, the little person wrestler, and I think he went to WWE and became El Torito. And I didn't look at him like a little person when he was in the ring and he was doing all these flips and head scissors takedowns. I was like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, I
And
mean, there's so many women that are so talented and so awesome. They have so many, uh, everybody has a different skill level, and we should be respected as such. Just bottom
yeah,
line.
and I noticed in season 3, you because you didn't go by Thunder Rosa, you was named Cobra Moon,
Yeah.
and I noticed in season 3 you started a faction, I suppose, the Reptile Tribe. It was yourself, Drago, Pindar, and Febora, which a lot of people know him as Luchasaurus. But you took more of a managerial role in season 3. What to you? What's the main difference, like being in ring and being like on the outside of the ring, for example, being a manager? Big
I,
difference?
Yes, you can be a manager and nobody gives a crap about you. The most
Yeah,
important part, like, that people have to invest their time and effort on your character, and also you have to, yeah, man, like in the locker rooms, I really like now. I When there's new people, I really try to like make them feel comfortable and make them feel like they belong to there, even though they're just there for like one and done. But it's like so important that you build them up, because we all been there and we all felt like, that you don't belong. And I don't like
yeah.
making people feel that way.
And then last year, this is where I suppose your career really took off. You joined the NWA, and yeah, how did that happen? Did Billy Corgan contact you directly, or was there like a go-between?
They contact me directly, and it
Yep.
was like, I will say it was it was long coming. I don't like to announce things, when some people get news, they're like, oh my God, like this. I don't
Yeah.
like things. I like to like, I always tell my husband and I always tell my friends when an opportunity comes and I'm not available, it's like, that's not my time. You know,
No.
the universe and God, my higher power, is working on this to be the perfect time, and do it the way that it's supposed to be. I'm not gonna jump into things. I'm not in a rush, or like I'm not into like I need to do it and I need to do it now, or get desperate. Like, I've thought, because of my career and because of like contracts and like all that stuff, I'm just learned how to be patient and
Yep.
let things flow. And if I feel that it's there's a need for me to like leave and and move to a next thing, now I'll do it, but I'm not gonna rush it, because sometimes you rush things because you think that's the best thing, and then you ain't got nothing.
No.
So yeah, for me that's very important. I am working in other things that are not completely related to being on TV, to like, I am gonna make a mark in this world because of my hard work, and because we're doing different things that nobody else is doing. And
Yeah.
this is more outside of the ring more than inside of the ring, which is more important to me. Yeah, for some people, fame, being in a book that people come and sign, that want you to sign, and conventions is more important. Maybe I would like to have that one day, but that's not my goal. My goal is to like people to remember me as, Thunder Rosa. I was Melissa Cervantes, somebody that is resilient, that works hard, and that make a name for herself and live her dream. So
Cool. And like I said, when you first popped into NWA, you started teaming up with Marty Bell, and Melina came along as well as like a. Sorry, I was just saying, you started teaming up with Marty Bell, and Melina came along, and she started acting as your mentor. And to me, Melina's one of the unsung heroes of women's wrestling. I think she's one of the legends, and she started becoming like a mentor to you. And whose idea was it for the three of you to start teaming up together?
the writers, I mean, I didn't come up with it,
No.
not at all. But
Cool.
yeah, but it worked fine, and it was a lot of fun, and I wish, we would have continued with the storyline. Um, and I would have loved to beat her ass, honestly.
And on the 24th of January at Hard Times, you made history. You defeated Alison Kay for the NWA Women's Championship, and you became the first Mexican-born woman to win the belt. So, how proud of was you of that accomplishment?
It was huge. It's that's what it's putting me on the map right now. That's why
Yeah,
I'm on EWI magazine. You know, um, I'm in the history books. The
yeah,
NWA, everyone knows what the NWA is. Um, I'm just really proud of it.
yeah. I mean, the titles had a lot of heritage and a lot of history, and for you to literally make history to become the first Mexican-born woman, it's something no one will ever be able to take away from you. And whatever happens, your name's going to be in the history books. So it was just such a great thing. And during this time, even though you was meant to, I suppose, portray like a heel, the fans was always seems to be behind you. And eventually that kind of turned your baby face. And you mentioned earlier, Melina started getting a bit jealous of that and got to the match where she decided to walk out on the match like a count out. But at the end of it, you face off with Camille, and hopefully, if everything works out and NWA carries on, is Camille someone you would like to work with in the future?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like I felt that the last promo went a little too long, and she thinks that she's all that. I mean, girl, you've been wrestling for what, 4 years, and I'm still kind of like, I am not impressed. So.
And on the last episode of Power, you, Melina, and Alison Kay had a promo, and it was announced for the Crockett Cup you were supposed to have a triple threat match, but unfortunately, the pandemic happened and that went out of the way. But hopefully, things will work out, and it will. We'll see you back on NWA quite soon. But in other news, you have actually got a big show coming up on the 18th of September. Mission Pro Wrestling presents How Have No Fury. It's a all-women's show, and you defend the belt against Lindsay Snow. I'm guessing you're pretty excited about that.
I am. I'm beyond excited. It's gonna be so much fun. She's a very talented individual. I am very excited to wrestle her. I haven't wrestled in a minute, so this is gonna be very, very interesting because she does a lot of jiu-jitsu, MMA style, and she's
wow.
So it's gonna be one of those matches. Yeah.
Sounds great. So we'll get to this fan questions. I put it out last night. First questions from UTT Rob. What's your best and worst experiences working in Lucha Underground?
Man, best experience. The payouts were really good. I learned a lot. I met all these famous people that I was a fan of. Worst experience, I'd rather not say it. You will read it today.
Next question's from @randomscott1990. He said, what was it like working in GTS Wrestling? Even though it was only a couple of shows, that was the first time he noticed you wrestling.
You know what? That gave me a lot of clout, and people still talk about it more than when I was like an NWA champion. Oh, I saw you in GTS, and I'm like, but yeah, I thank Duhop and Homeboy and his brother Grim for allowing me to be there, and I have a lot of fun. I wish I could go back. I always have so much fun working with them.
Cool. Desh Kirby asked, recently there's been a groundswell from people for you to sign with AEW. Do you see that as a pressure, or is it just something that spurs you on in your career?
Hey man, I haven't wrestled in hella long. That means people want to see me succeed, and it's good when your name is out there, even though you're not in a main TV show or you haven't been in a humongous TV show as Rosa. It's a lot. It's not pressure, It's like if you're a star, if you have what it takes, you're gonna make it everywhere you go. You shouldn't take it as pressure.
Cool. And a question from Fumley Squeeze. I think he's Orange Cassidy fan. What's the biggest thing you want people to know about the NWA and your experience there?
That has been amazing so far. It's been quite an amazing thing, and it's been such a great platform for me to develop what I want to promote, and what I want to do with my career.
Cool. And there's a question from my 3 sons. They're quite young, but they love NWA. They said, "Is Eli Drake as cool behind the scenes as he is in front of the TV?"
He's so much fun. Yes, he's talented. He plays piano. He sings. He wrestles. He's really, really multi-talented.
Yeah, my eldest, he's a 6-year-old, and I started this podcast about 2 months ago now, roughly. And I said, I'm interviewing wrestlers. Even though he's 6, he's grasping on still. And he's like, you need to talk to Eli Drake. I'm like, hopefully one day I'll make sure you're with me. You can speak to him. And last question, I suppose the best question for last, from James 555-35520. James, you need to make a different at. What advice would today's Thunder Rosa give to a rookie Thunder Rosa about the business of wrestling?
To be more to speak up for herself. Yeah, definitely. I didn't do it, and people run me over, but not anymore.
Cool. And and I think that's the end. So do you want to plug your social media accounts? Where can people find you?
Make sure you guys go and check me out on thunderrosa.net. You can get all my merchandise there, and you can also visit my social medias. You can click on the stuff. It's thunderrosa22 at all my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. YouTube, you can check it out. I have a lot of videos. I haven't posted anything in 2 weeks because I've been so busy with Mission Pro. I'm also running Mission Pro Wrestling, an all own and run female show. It will be September 19th here in Buda, Texas. And you can see it at Title Match Network if you are over there where you are. You can definitely watch the show, or you can purchase it later. And you can access to our old show at missionprowrestling.net.
Cool. And if any of the other girls from Mission Pro wants to have an interview, and if they want to come on and promote the show even more, just tell them they're more than welcome to do so. Or if you want to speak to James Storm, we would love to have James Storm because he's one of our favorites. Cool. Well, thanks, Rosa. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. And like I said, noticed you in Lucha Underground and Ring of Honor, but I was more exposed to you in NWA, and me and a lot of wrestling fans. Hopefully, the things with NWA works out and this pandemic blows over, hopefully, and we can start seeing it on our YouTube screens because we really are missing it, and all the guys and girls from it.
Well, be ready for more Thunder Rosa to come.
Cool. All right, thanks, Rosa. I'll let you go, and hopefully we can do this again one day.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.